Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Be in the Change. I'm going to get started by reciting my inspiration. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome to everybody who's watching me for the very first time, and welcome back and thank you to everybody who has seen me before. I started this in 2019 as my New Year's resolution, stating out loud I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt. Doing a weekly video for an entire year, letting you guys know it wasn't breaking up with me as much as I wanted to break up with it. So I'm still processing. I'm still breaking up with it. It's way less than it was. Last year, 2020, my resolution was to be kinder and more compassionate to myself and to others, and I was able to do that. And then this year, it is to break up with sugar, which I have not eaten any processed sugar since January 4th. I am working on learning how to eat properly. I'm not going to tell you that this is easy. It is one of the hardest things I've ever done. And, you know, last week I had something happen. I'm starting to realize a lot of my food stuff is emotional. And I was using food to like stuff my feelings down. Last week, my dryer is going. I called a couple of places. I found out my dryer is not worth saving. So I had to go get a new dryer, and I'm not working right now. So I have to put it on a credit card. So I went out, I researched, I did my homework. I went to the store, I bought my dryer. I was fine. And the next day, I woke up with like this lump in my throat, which I think was sheer panic, like, holy shit, how am I going to pay for this? And that was Sunday morning, and I could not eat enough to try and get rid of that feeling. Like, that feeling was like in my throat, and it was panic. And I don't think I've ever allowed myself to feel panic before. I think whenever I start to feel anything, I subconsciously do things to numb it out, to not feel it. But I was able to share it, and it passed. I know that I somehow, some way, that dryer's going to get paid for, and I don't know how right now, but I need it. So I know that God wants me to have a dryer. So I'm grateful that I was able to order it. Who knows what's going to happen next, but that was my thing that came up this week. And the food, I wanted to eat sugar, and I wanted to say screw this, and I didn't. So that was the strongest that I've ever felt. That like I wanted to say screw this, and for some reason I didn't do that yet. So it's a one day at a time operation. Last week I was talking about expecting myself to know better, to know things, how to do stuff that I never learned how to do. And as much as I had that expectation on myself, I had it on other people too. Like, I think you should know how to do things, but I never learned. But I never realized that I thought other people knew, and I never did. And I'm learning a lot of people don't know. And people don't know unless you tell them. And, you know, I was with somebody a while back, and they kept saying about when something would come up, and I'm like, I think I should tell this person. And he's like, They'll figure it out. One day they'll figure it out. And honestly, like, thank God for the people who told me things, because I couldn't figure it out until somebody told me. And one of the things that I'm talking about is I grew up in a house where I really believed if you had more than me, you should give it to me. And I had a sense of entitlement, and I didn't know it was wrong, and I didn't know I had it. But if you had more money than I did, I used to think, like, why wouldn't you do that? So I'm going to give you an example of something that happened. When I was a teenager, I used to get a ride to school every day with this guy who lived in my neighborhood. And he drove me to school every day. And then one day he just stopped taking me. And I never knew what happened, but I was really good friends with his sister. And I could not figure out why he just one day wouldn't take me anymore. I didn't know what I did wrong or what happened. And she said, Michelle, you never offered him gas money. And I remember thinking, he's going there anyway. We live in the same neighborhood. Like, he should take me. But really what I found out was he didn't have to take me. He didn't owe me a ride just because I lived in the same neighborhood. He didn't have to use his gas money to take me anywhere. But I didn't know that wasn't right. I wasn't told that until she said, Michelle, you never offered him gas money. I never even knew that I should offer somebody gas money. So, like, I'm learning now still what to do and what not to do, and to expect when other people have more than me that they should give it to me is not healthy, and I didn't know it. And I found out nobody owes me anything ever. I don't owe anybody either. I owe God and I owe myself. So thank God for people who told me, like, Michelle, you never offered him gas money. Yes, he never asked me either, but like, I wasn't even able to go back and say, is there a reason why this is happening or what happened? Like, I wasn't able to talk about it. And some people aren't able to talk about it either. But I want to let you know one thing that I learned that is tremendously helpful when you do have to talk to somebody, like how to confront somebody. And I remember a girlfriend telling me, if you ever need to confront somebody, you always start off with the positive. Like, if you hurt my feelings and I didn't tell you, how are you supposed to know? And we're friends. So like, one of the ways that I was taught how to do it was to say, I really value our friendship. However, when you said this the other day, my feelings were really hurt. And then end it with a positive too. Like, I'm so grateful that we're friends and that I feel comfortable coming to talk to you about this. Like, I never learned, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And how you say things to other people speaks volumes. And how you talk to others most of the time is how you actually are speaking to yourself. So expecting people to figure things out that no one has ever told them. I'm so grateful for the people, when I hear people say they're not worth it, I'm so thankful that somebody thought I was worth it and that they could tell me things and talk to me in a way that, like, just because somebody has more than me doesn't mean they need to give it to me, and vice versa. Just because I have more than somebody else doesn't mean I have to give it to them. Should I? Does it make me feel good? Absolutely. Keeping stuff and hoarding it just because I'm afraid, I learned for myself, is not a great way for me to live. That I should help as many people as much as I can, whenever I can, without hurting or harming myself. So these are just some of the tips and tricks that I have learned, that I think every person's worth it, and every person deserves a second chance or another opportunity. There are some times when I can tell that the person that I'm talking to is not receptive of what I'm saying, But even though they're not receptive, it doesn't mean that I need to not say it. And sometimes maybe I'm meant to say it to somebody else instead of. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching me, and I'm so grateful we're on this journey together. And stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.